Hello friends, this is Vishal once again in front of you, and this is my concept explainer video on some of the topics of React. In this video, we're gonna see some of the topics of React and understand it from very scratch examples so that we can correlate it with it. So firstly, to know it better, firstly we should know what is React. React is basically a JavaScript library which is built by Facebook and which is built to create a great user interface or to create a very responsive user interface and in a very easy manner so that we can easily get uh, get the dynamic user interface with various kinds of functionalities and varieties. That is what React do. React basically help us to use our JavaScript in a very easy manner. So to understand some of the more topics, I would just like you to take you to my screen. And I hope my screen is visible to all of you. And firstly, the first kind of topic we should gonna understand in this is what is JSX. JSX is basically a JavaScript extensions. What does it do? JSX is basically using a JavaScript extension means using some kind of HTML code in our React file is called JSX. As you can see here that I am returning my React code. Inside this, I have declared a function, but what I am returning inside the function is my HTML code. So using my HTML code inside my React application is basically JSX. Nothing more than this. This is the example. And second thing, my second topic is what are props. Props is basically, as you can see on the screen, props in very basic manner using some parent property inside my child is basically props. Props means suppose that you have declared something in your parent applications or parent page and you just want to get that information in your child page. So to get that information, we use a kind of terms which is called props. Props is basically a children. So here is the example on the screen. As you can see that I have written something. I have written h1 tag hello and just giving inside the property name which is props dot name which I have declared on the 93rd number of line. I have written something greeting name as John. So I am passing the property name John inside my child, which is what? Which is greeting. So as I am passing some properties from parent to child is called props. This is what props basically is. And first and the third next topic is what are states. So to understand what are states, state is basically something which is going to be changed or something which we have declared that will be rendered or that will be changed in our React application is what basically state is. Let's take a very basic example of it. I am taking an counter application or increase count where I have declared a count and inside the count I have declared a function, a dispatcher function, which is set count, and I have provided the initial value of it as a 0. So what it do right now is that it's basically when I am on, I have just on click add an event listener on click on my button. When I just click on the increment button, it's recall my function here and just set the count value as +1. So it means totally means this is an state which is going to be changed or rendered, and I have declared this particular state in my React application by this particular term use state. This is what basically state is. Something that gonna mounting that is mounting or rendering in my React application is comes under state. And this is the example. I hope you will understand it. And the third is, what are components? Components, to give you a better example of component, I will just want to recall you. Suppose that I am building something in my JavaScript language. So I have firstly my index.html file. Then I have again and again my navbar.jsx or .html, and another some of that my container.jsx, and so many other files. So what React does here is that I don't have to create these files again and again. I just have to create this file at once. And as you can see on the line number 140 to 146, I can just recall my these files at many times where how many times which where I needed this. I don't have to just declare them again and again. I just have to declare it once and recalling them again and again inside my application. So this comes under components. Components are basically those things which we have declared once and we can use in our React application again and again when we need it. So this is what basically components are. And what are handling, event handling? What is event handling? So to understand this event handling, I just want to take again the example of counter set count. So the function here, you can see on the 160 line, I have declared the const increment callback function, which is setting my count again and again to count +1 when I am clicking on this button. So these things is comes under event handling, because something I have declared the state, and the thing which gonna handle this state is basically called event handling. So this basically is, and I just want to take some additional topic in it, which is what is rendering, what is mounting. So mounting and rendering is basically something which we have declared in the initial state of my React application, which has to be or which will be changed in future, and the initial state of that particular thing is called mounting. This is called mounting state. Declaration of any variable is called mounting. And what is rendering? Rendering is basically something which I have declared, already declared, and it get updated and see to the user and comes to the UI part, and which shows the result is basically rendering is. So something which I have declared and it's got rendered, updated and show to the user is called rendering. So I hope these are the some basically basic topics of React which I have to cover in this video, and I hope you will liked it. Thank you very much.